Every morning, at exactly 6:17 a.m., the gorilla would stop whatever she was doing and move to the same corner of her enclosure. Then she would perform a precise sequence of movements. 47 seconds. Always exactly 47 seconds. The same motions, the same rhythm, the same heartbreaking expression on her face. She had done this every single day for 2 years. 730 times, never missed once, never varied even slightly. The staff had documented it, analyzed it, studied it from every angle. But nobody could understand why. Then a behavioral specialist noticed something in the old medical records, and suddenly the 47 seconds made terrible, devastating sense. But by then, the gorilla had been trapped in this ritual for over 700 days. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one. And write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. Day 731. Keeper Grace Martinez stood outside Imani's enclosure at 6:15 a.m., coffee in hand, waiting. She'd been doing this for 3 months now, arriving early, watching, trying to understand. At exactly 6:17 a.m., Imani stopped mid-stride. The 24-year-old gorilla had been examining some enrichment toys, playing, seemingly content. Then something shifted. Imani's entire body went still. Her expression changed, became distant, focused inward. She walked directly to the northeast corner of the enclosure. Always the northeast corner. Never anywhere else. She sat down in the exact same spot she'd sat in yesterday. And the day before. And the day before that. For 730 days. Grace pulled out her stopwatch. She'd been timing this for weeks now. 6:17:03 a.m. Imani lifted her arms, not randomly, with precision, with purpose. She positioned them in a specific way, curved, cradled, as if holding something against her chest. Something that wasn't there. Then she began to rock. Gentle, rhythmic, consistent. Grace counted under her breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imani rocked exactly 23 times. Always 23. Never 22, never 24, 23. Then the swaying began. A different motion now, side to side, slow, deliberate. Imani's face was the worst part. Her eyes were open but unfocused, looking at something Grace couldn't see. And her expression. Grace had seen that expression on human faces before. In hospitals, at funerals. Grief. Pure, unprocessed grief. The swaying stopped. Imani's right hand moved to her own chest, pressed flat over where her heart would be. She held it there for exactly 7 seconds. Then she lowered her arms slowly. The entire sequence had taken 47 seconds. Grace checked her stopwatch. 6:17:50 a.m. 47 seconds. Exactly, like every other day. Imani blinked. Her expression cleared. She looked around as if waking from a trance. Then she stood up and walked away. Returned to her normal activities as if nothing had happened. But something had happened. Something was happening every single day at 6:17 a.m., and nobody knew what it meant. Grace walked into the observation office where her colleague David was reviewing the night camera footage. She did it again, Grace said. David didn't look up. Same time? 6:17:03, 47 seconds, 23 rocks, everything identical. That's 731 days in a row, David said. He finally looked up at Grace. This isn't normal behavior. Grace pulled out her phone. She'd recorded this morning's episode like she'd recorded dozens of others. She played it back, watching Imani's precise movements, the cradled arms, the rocking, the hand over her heart. It looks like she's performing a ritual, Grace said quietly. A ritual for what? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's important to her. Important enough to do it 731 times without missing a single day. David studied the video. Have you checked her? Medical history? Maybe something happened at 6:17 a.m. that we don't know about. Grace's heart skipped. She hadn't checked the medical records. I'll check right now, she said. Grace spent 2 hours in the archive room, working backwards through Imani's files. 8 years of records, annual checkups, behavioral logs. Then, 2 years back, right when the ritual would have started, she found it. A medical incident report dated 2 years and 1 week ago. Incident report, infant mortality date, 2 years ago. Subject, Imani, female, 22 years old. Incident, sudden infant death. Grace's hands started shaking. She read faster. Summary. At approximately 6:15 a.m., keeper staff observed Imani engaged in normal morning nursing routine with 3-month-old infant Quito, male. At 6:17 a.m., keeper Grace Martinez, on shift, noticed Imani becoming distressed. Infant appeared to have stopped breathing. Emergency veterinary team called immediately. 6:23 a.m., veterinary team arrived. Infant Quito, pronounced deceased. Cause of death, sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS equivalent. No prior symptoms, no warning signs. Post-incident, Imani refused to release infant's body. Continued cradling, rocking, attempting to stimulate response. Infant's body removed at 7:45 a.m. under sedation. Imani remained sedated for 12 hours to prevent self-harm from grief response. Behavioral note. Monitor for prolonged grief response. Gorilla mothers have been documented engaging in extended mourning periods following infant loss. Grace felt tears streaming down her face. Quito. Imani had had a baby named Quito, and he had died in her arms at 6:17 a.m. 2 years ago. Grace pulled out her phone with trembling hands and called Dr. Sarah Mills, the sanctuary's behavioral specialist. I know what Imani's doing, Grace said, her voice breaking. I know what the ritual means. 30 minutes later, Grace sat in Dr. Mills' office with the incident report spread out on the desk. She's reenacting it, Grace said, her voice shaking. Every morning at 6:17 a.m., the exact time Quito died, the cradled arms, the rocking, the hand over her heart, she's reliving the moment he stopped breathing. Dr. Mills watched the video footage. Imani's precise, desperate movements. Trauma reenactment, she said quietly. Her mind is stuck in that moment. She's reliving it over and over, trying to understand what happened. For 2 years, Grace whispered, trauma doesn't follow timelines, especially for mothers who lose children. The desperate need to rewrite the ending can last decades. Grace felt sick. She's hoping that this time, if she does everything perfectly, he'll keep breathing. That's exactly what she's doing, Dr. Mills said, and every morning at 6:17, the reality that it isn't. Finally, Grace asked the question she was afraid to hear the answer to. Can we help her? Dr. Mills looked at the video again, at Imani's grief-stricken face, at the precise, desperate movements. I don't know, she admitted, but we have to try. Dr. Mills made a call to Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a specialist in trauma therapy through movement and dance. Dr. Rodriguez had worked with traumatized animals for 15 years, helping them process grief and trauma through gentle, guided movement therapy. When she arrived 3 days later and watched the video of Imani's ritual, she went completely still. I've seen this in humans, she said quietly. Trauma survivors who repeat the same movements compulsively. The body trying to complete something the mind can't let go of. Can you help her? Dr. Mills asked. Maybe, but it won't be quick, and it won't be easy. Dr. Rodriguez's approach was simple but profound. Join Imani's ritual, then gently guide her toward completing the story. Week 1, Dr. Rodriguez simply sat near the northeast corner at 6:15 a.m. every morning. Just present, not interfering. Imani performed her ritual as always. 47 seconds. 23 rocks, hand over heart. Dr. Rodriguez watched, documented, learned. Week 2, she moved closer, sat within Imani's line of sight during the ritual. Imani noticed but didn't stop. The ritual was too important. Week 3, Dr. Rodriguez began mirroring some of Imani's movements. Not the cradling, she wasn't ready for that, but the gentle swaying, the stillness afterward. Imani's eyes flickered to her, recognition. Someone else was in this moment with her. Week 4, the breakthrough began. After Imani completed her 47-second ritual, after the hand over her heart, after she would normally stand and walk away, Dr. Rodriguez gently placed her own hand on her chest, mirroring Imani's gesture. Then she slowly reached out and placed her other hand on the ground between them. A gesture, an offering, a connection. Imani stared at Dr. Rodriguez's outstretched hand. For 10 seconds, she didn't move. Then, slowly, she reached out and touched Dr. Rodriguez's hand with her fingertips, just for a moment. Then she stood and walked away, but it was different. For the first time in 731 days, something had been added to the ritual, a connection, a response, a hint that the story could continue beyond that terrible moment. Week 6 brought more changes. Imani completed her ritual. Dr. Rodriguez mirrored the hand over heart gesture. Then Dr. Rodriguez stood up slowly. She extended her hand to Imani, a gentle invitation. Imani looked at the hand for a long time. Then she reached up and took it. Dr. Rodriguez helped her stand. They stood together for 30 seconds, hands connected. Then Imani walked away. But she'd stood up with help. She'd accepted support in the moment of her deepest grief. Week 10, Dr. Rodriguez introduced a new element. After the ritual, after standing together, she gently guided Imani to take 3 steps forward. Away from the northeast corner. Away from the spot where the ritual happened. Imani resisted at first. Her body pulled back toward the corner. But Dr. Rodriguez held her hand gently. Encouraging, not forcing. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then Imani pulled away and went back to her normal routine. But she'd moved forward. Literally moved away from the trauma spot. Week 15 brought the moment everyone had been waiting for. Imani sat in the northeast corner at 6:17 a.m. She lifted her arms in the cradling position. But before she began rocking, she paused, looked down at her empty arms, then looked at Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez made a gentle gesture. "It's okay, you can let go." Imani's arms trembled. She began the rocking motion, but slower, less desperate. Only 15 rocks instead of 23. The staff watching on monitors were crying. Week 18 changed everything. Imani arrived at the corner at 6:17 a.m. as always. She sat down, lifted her arms into the cradling position, and then she lowered them again without rocking. She sat there, hands in her lap, staring at the space where Keto had been. Then she stood up, walked 3 steps forward on her own, and looked back at the corner, as if saying goodbye. The ritual had taken 20 seconds instead of 47. Week 30 brought something unprecedented. At 6:17 a.m., Imani didn't go to the corner. She was grooming with another female. 6:17 came and went. She paused briefly, hand to her chest for just a moment, then continued grooming. The ritual no longer controlled her. She controlled it. 6 months later, a traumatized infant named Zuri arrived at the sanctuary, orphaned, withdrawn, refusing to eat. Imani approached Zuri's enclosure and sat down near the mesh. Then she began a gentle rocking motion, not the desperate 23 rocks of trauma, but the soft, soothing rhythm a mother uses to comfort a frightened child. Zuri watched through the mesh. After several minutes, she crawled closer. Imani reached through and touched her hand, the same gesture of connection Dr. Rodriguez had offered her. Zuri began eating that afternoon, and every morning for 2 weeks, Imani sat by her enclosure, offering that gentle rocking motion. She had transformed her deepest pain into her greatest gift, the ability to heal others. Today, Imani still visits the northeast corner sometimes, on significant dates, Kito's birthday, the anniversary. She stands there briefly, hand over her heart, remembering. Then she walks back to her troop, to her life, from victim to survivor to healer. Did this story touch your heart? If yes, write yes in the comments. Imani repeated the same 47-second ritual for over 800 days, trapped in the worst moment of her life. But with help, she found her way through grief and became a healer for others. Do you believe healing is possible even after devastating loss? Yes or no? Write your answer, subscribe to the channel, and leave a like. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.